Yep.
Welcome back, guys. This is episode I don't even remember anymore. We've only done like 3, so it shouldn't be hard to remember.
Yeah.
But we're back.
What's up?
Today, we are here with none other than host Adrian Avila.
Nice.
Aaron, myself. We are going to be talking about some filmmaking we did the past, I would say, 5 years of our lives, kind of diving into the projects that we created. Going into that, we're going to show you some clips, but last episode we were talking about the evolution of like technology and social media, videos that we created back then, and now coming into, I guess, like a new chapter of our lives where we wanted to evolve ourselves, get better, challenge ourselves into filmmaking and making short films that we kind of put together, the 3 of us friends.
True. Yeah. Can't wait to dive into this. Yeah, this is a very more broader subject now, I feel like, because a lot more mature,
We're older now. We're not little babies. I mean, sometimes we still can be. I mean, a breakfast doesn't hurt. A cooked breakfast doesn't hurt.
Sausage McMuffin.
Sausage McMuffin.
Now we're still kids.
Yeah, we're still kids. Don't be fooled.
Yummy sausage McMuffin. So today I think the first, starting right off the bat, it was like in 2017.
Yes, we kind of have to go over the story of how we came about this. It was a long process. So
why don't you lead it up?
From us making videos on Vine, Instagram, little 15-second, 30-second clips that were mainly like comedy skits to making stuff that actually needed good sound, good cinematography, good lighting, a good story. A lot more factors into when you're making something like that.
True.
And that started off with, it was actually, we were both in college at this point, and I had met a buddy. His name was Javi. At the time, didn't know who this guy was. I was like, man, why does this guy have a wrinkled shirt? This James Dean character over here. Like, he just fit that.
It's the boots,
Yeah, he just fit this vibe where I was like, this dude's kind of interesting. Like, let me get to know him more. And I had him for 2 classes, and getting to know him, he was really big into filmmaking. He directing stuff. That was his thing, his niche. Like, he was all about that. And it was cool meeting someone like that because he knew how to put things together in a cinematic way. We didn't. No. We just knew comedy and putting stuff together and making it funny. We didn't know anything about that. So when I met him, I had him for 2 classes, started talking to him more, and I was like, yo, like, you really need to meet my friend Adrian. Like, we grew up making videos and stuff, and we've always wanted like to do something. We eventually got to do that. It took like 2 months for we all went to the same school. It just never worked out with us meeting. Whenever me and Javi had school, when we left, Adrian was coming in. So we tried to meet him like when you got there. It just never worked out to the point where
we were always crossing, but never
we just never actually met. But it just got to the point where he thought it was fake. Like, he thought I was making you up, and I was like,
I'm a ghost.
Like, no, trust me, like, he's real. It's
ghost
just
in the darkness.
it just never panned out like how we like just, hey, let me introduce you. Never panned out. But one day, a couple months after, we got to meet up. We went to Peter Piper. Had to
get that slice.
Sat at the round table. Round tables are the best for making ideas, coming up with new things. I don't know. There's something about round tables that we just like.
For some reason,
So we finally got to meet each other, introduced him, and then I just remember first time Adrian met him, the notebook, pen, he just whipped it out like all randomly.
You just hear...
Yeah,
I was like, "What's this guy?"
He had like his like notepad with all his like ideas and stuff that like random things, when you see or you think of something.
We never saw somebody like structured. I'd never seen anybody like that, and I was like, "Wait, this guy's younger than me."
Anytime we had an idea, we just thought of it and then just remembered it. But obviously we'd forget sometimes because that's just how it goes. But it would have been smart to like write down some stuff.
It definitely did help. Seeing that first impression question. You know, I see Ray-Bans on the table, see his keys,
see a
his wallet,
a credit
his phone,
card,
and then I see a wrapped up journal, and he just like,
yeah.
see this bracelet.
Dude had 2 pockets, but then he had like, 6 things in there. That was pretty much how we all introduced or got to know each other.
Yeah.
I met him, introduced him to Adrian.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, it kind of just sprung into this, like, we were basically a team.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm putting together a team.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
basically a team, three-man team.
Yeah.
And we were like, yo, like,
Trio.
Let's create something. Let's
Yeah.
do something cool.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Guest Pass.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it. Was our first film.
But so like once we met, it's already been like maybe 2 years of we finally.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the first year we.
It didn't happen right away
Yeah.
where we made a film, but
Right.
it was a while before we actually did our first. It was a lot of talking, a lot of like
Let's do this.
bringing
let's
up
do this,
things
yeah.
and like ideas and stuff. We just never actually did it.
I think that's what started the actual film, is because me and you finally we all came to an agreement. We said we want to do like an action sequence, like some sort of like little action short. And I think that's when Javi was like, okay, and then he jumped on board, and then that was a whole process. I remember, and it was actually really fun. I mean, yeah, like you said, three people. We didn't. He did everything. He did the editing, the camera, directing. He did he did everything. And then me and Aaron,
pretty much we were just like the stuntmen.
Yeah.
The actors. In there.
Yeah.
Adrian took care of the choreography by watching some of his favorite movies,
some
fight
Jackie
scenes.
Chan.
Yeah. And he took some moves from there, learned it, taught it to me, and we learned it pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I remember we did a test run in my backyard.
Yeah.
We set up a phone.
Oh, that's right.
We recorded
That's
ourselves.
right, yeah.
And then we were like,
I actually
okay.
think I have
remember?
that clip. I think I
Yeah.
actually have how it started. Yeah, the before and then the after.
Yeah, that was cool because we practiced it for a couple hours in the backyard. I think for maybe a couple days too.
Right.
And we recorded it, and then we showed it to Javi, and he was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
like what is this? This is cool." Like he got like excited. Yeah.
Right away. Yeah, I remember he was rolling. He was like, "Okay, I think we're on rotation here." And then
He was already planning shots in his head from what like he was seeing from like the different sequences we were doing.
Yeah.
So that was cool to kind of like give him that spark to be like, all right, like let's do it.
Yeah.
Like you already know the choreography. That's probably I would say one of the that's the harder parts, but like because you jumped on it so early and you learned it, taught it to me, and we learned it so fast.
Yeah.
Like it helped speed up that process.
Yeah.
Being like we already know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, Avi, like last thing we need is just like your eye and see like what looks best and fits best with what we're doing.
And the whole aesthetic of the film, of that action short. I'm not John Wick. Obviously, it's not like a John Wick, but we were trying to go for like a realistic, almost even the look of it, that grainy look that Javi put to it. It's almost like the Matrix kind of the green kind of weird dark look to it. But the martial arts sequences, they're kind of like more realistic. like they're little moves here and there are taken from real martial arts, but we tried to make it like a grounded, realistic, and we added a little bit of comedy in there.
Yeah,
that was the one where your sister was sitting in the car.
Yeah,
there's that shot.
Pretty much, she's in the car, like looking for something, and then we're in the back. You can see us in the window.
Yeah,
like far away, and we're like battling it out. Still, we're still like throwing it down, and she's just that was pretty cool. Little cameo for my sister there. But
we shot it in a parking lot, right? It was
parking
like
garage. Yeah,
garage. Yeah.
We did that, and it was pretty late at night too. It was like we started probably I'm gonna say around like 10 maybe.
Yeah,
like it was super late because it was empty and there wasn't too many people, which worked out for us because we didn't have any distractions. But then we had to make it seem like people were there. So I remember Augustine, your brother.
Oh yeah,
he was also in it, but he literally was just walking by.
A walk by. Yeah.
And then I think I used his car in one of the shots.
Okay.
Because I'm following you. You're walking around and I'm following you. And I'm like an assassin, right? I'm like James Bond type.
Yeah,
and then this dude's more like
Street Fighter.
Yeah. Like freaking like Roadhouse over here, pretty much.
Yeah.
You had your long hair too.
Oh my god, yeah. It's just like it's crazy because a lot of things like like if you ever look it up on YouTube, Guest Pass, it's like once again there's really cool cinematic moments, but for us it was like just for fun. Like I once again critiquing ourselves in the acting part. You can say whatever you want. I don't know how to smoke a cigarette, this look and this and that, but it was our first film project ever. We were just working with what we have. We didn't have a crew, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Just had 3 people.
Yeah, just 3 of us, and that was pretty much it. A couple extras, but that was literally our brothers and sisters to just they didn't even have to act. They were just like there just to take some space and be there. But
and then we got to go to the theater also, which at the time when we were still working there, I think you were still.
I was.
I wasn't working yet.
I was working at a movie theater, so I think it was on our opening shot.
Yeah.
Pretty much the idea of this film was like a film within a film.
Yeah.
So it's like us kind of walking into a movie theater, seeing a movie, and then kind of getting lost in our own movie while we're watching it. So I think that idea was pretty cool because you can literally do anything with that.
Yes, yeah.
A movie within a movie means like there's no rules, there's no boundaries. Like you can break anything.
It's endless. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we filmed it in our theater. We went during the week. It was pretty slow. So like we just had to find an empty theater so that we could walk in, sit down, and then get shots of us like watching the movie. Yeah. And we were able to do that, which was nice. Because I know like freaking you can't do that nowadays. No. I mean, you have to like go ask permission and stuff. But then
because you were the manager too, it helped.
Yeah, it just helped because I was like, this one's empty, let's go. Yeah. So we filmed it pretty much outside in the hallway and then in the theater itself.
Back when the seats were cardboard,
right?
Not the recliners.
They're not recliners. They're actual seats.
Sorry,
But that was pretty cool. Opening shot there, got to do that. We probably did it within maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We weren't there too long.
Okay. Yeah.
Like inside, you're right. Like at the theater, we were probably there for like an hour and a half because we did some stuff outside.
Some other shots.
And in the car.
That's right.
But in the theater, we were there maybe like 30, 45 minutes, and that was it. Okay, yeah. So it wasn't too. Plus, like it was empty, so like it's not like anyone was going in there.
Right.
But yeah, that was again goes back to 3-man group, using what you got, using the resources you had. I worked at a movie theater. I was like, hey, like let's utilize that.
Was the location that helped?
That was the location. So
and then the garage location. No one was there, luckily, because it was like at 1 a.m.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And then we called this guy 10-pack because of how many cigarettes he had to smoke. Regardless if you were good or not, he had to go through a lot of.
I didn't know
how many packs did you go through.
Was
it 10?
Like no. Well, like
it was probably like 4, right?
It was a lot actually because of a lot of the opening shots. Well, some of the later shots, me smoking the cigarette and this and that. Yeah.
Because obviously a cigarette burns out, so you can't use the same one each time. If you start off with it just barely being lit,
right,
and then your next shot and it's already done, like what? Like that doesn't make sense. So you had to like keep like using them, throwing them out and then lighting a new one. I did that towards the end, but I only had maybe like 2 or 3 because I only needed it once. That's the only time I needed to smoke. It was when I think you punched me and we were like both on the floor, which reminds me, you actually hit me, dude.
I did, dude.
You actually hit me one of the takes, and I still have the clip on my phone.
Oh, you do?
Where you hit me.
Yeah.
Because I remember Javi was like 3, 2, 1, action, and we were doing the move, and then you like accidentally like chin like get me on the chin, and I was like,
I'll do a close-up. Let's see.
yeah, let's see it. Like, I felt it, and then you stopped, and I was like, oh shit. Like, it didn't hurt, but like
I grazed your chin here, right here. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Once again,
Bitch.
just trying to work with what we have. I'm not a trained, John Wick over here. We just really wanted to do a fight scene choreography, and it was something that we just tried to do it to our best ability, try to make it as real, authentic, grounded as possibly as we can. So yeah, that was the idea.
That one, we just posted it on YouTube and kind of showed like, hey, like, this is what we made. We didn't enter it in like any film contest or anything.
Not yet though.
Not yet. Because that was I think it was about a good year before we did that.
Yeah.
Or a while before. But then, yeah, we did that one. We were like, oh, this is sick. Like, people really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially us, I think we were just so impressed with it being our first time doing
Something,
that.
yeah.
And then for how well it came out.
And with, once again, no crew member. We don't have a lighting guy on the side. We don't have
a guy with a boom arm.
We don't have none of that. We were all doing it all together.
Yeah.
We came up with everything.
Yeah. So did that, was pretty cool. And we were like, okay, like, what's next?
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
Our next project?
Yep.
And Javi had already had like ideas of what he wanted to do next, which was the unfinished canvas.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the second short film we did together.
Right.
And this one was more of his idea.
Yeah.
Of putting together, it was about a painter who I play in the short.
Yeah.
And Adrian actually wasn't in this one, but this guy did so much stuff that contributed to the set of it. So at his house, we used his garage. We made it you guys actually made it. I really didn't do anything there, but you made it into like an art studio, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think I have some pictures of the way it looked. I think I took like one of those pictures called where you go all
the panoramic. Yeah.
I took a picture like that, and you could see everything, how it looked, and we tried to make it like you said, like a movie set.
Yeah, you guys did. Like, you guys actually got to showcase some of the canvases you guys painted, you and Javi. I didn't paint any of them. The only ones I did was the ones in the film, which whatever. But like, you guys actually put like your stuff up there, which was kind of cool to see. I mean, you would think in doing this film, it's about a painter. He's kind of in his own head.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the one who's painting in the film, not him. But then freaking after we do this dude just like he finds this like
my obsession, next obsession for me.
Yeah, your next obsession. This dude just got so like into painting and stuff, and like he still does it, and he's actually like really he's painted some stuff that I have in my bathroom here. Like, you just like found a passion that you just got hooked to, and like you didn't stop.
Yeah,
Go over to this guy's house, just paint on the pants, on the clothes. He'd go out with us, just paint everywhere on his arms.
I know, right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, once again, it goes back to Javi's influence and his inspiration for this project, because once again, it started with him showing me his canvases, and like I was like, wait. These are your canvases? Like, I'd never seen any kind of art like this before. I didn't understand the abstract world of painting. And then that's when I contribute just a little bit. I was like, I have some, like, I could do one like a piano.
I have some piano keys. I have a rainbow if you want.
I did like some like sketches though. They were just like little tiny things, but it wasn't until after the project was over, that's when I started diving deep into that. And eventually that's why I wanted to do like a little documentary on that obsession for like 4 years of just painting like back to back. That's also what I was doing also during COVID, painting every day. But once again, going back to this film, there's hardly any like dialogue of it, but it's just more of like the art of it, all the like the art in general, like the way it looks in the camera, the art actually itself on the walls, the colors. There's a lot of red. The first version of that Javi did, and I know he re-edited it and it's now black and white. He made like a director's cut, but the first version is color, and then his version is black and white. But he went with that opening shot with you, like it's almost like a Ryan Gosling kind of
laying down on the floor.
Yeah.
And he goes from the feet all the way to my face.
Yeah.
And then he holds it there for like probably like a minute. Well, not a straight minute, but like a long time.
It is.
Yeah. He holds it for a long time, and I'm just there like,
dude, you didn't even blink.
Couldn't blink.
Dude.
Like I was just like that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to like, I guess, be the main. Just because I was like, it's not that it's a lot of pressure, but like
I liked watching you. Just it was nice to sit back because I didn't have to act. I was just like watching you act, and I remember we took video of you when you were painting, and then like I was helping Javi with some of the sequences, kind of holding his shirt with the camera to make sure he's still or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was nice because like I finally saw the vision and with the spotlight, and
it's like, dude, to see that amazing. All unfold and come together.
Oh, and then my brother too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Art also.
That's right.
He got to help. That was the first time he helped. He kind of was like the fourth piece of some of the filmmaking too.
Yeah.
Because my brother Art's he's also a music composer, and that's when he started adding. Javi still kind of ask Art, or I'll ask Art, "Hey Art, can you send me a file of? I need like some strings here. Or I need a piano here." And so he did this rotation sequence. That's really beautiful, and it's like Art's piano. Everything is just in sync.
Yeah. Yeah. When that shot comes together, when I'm walking up to the canvas and it's like time to paint, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It gets pretty intense.
Yeah.
And it's cool because like just from the lighting to the cinematography there,
the spotlight,
and then just to myself, like the zone I had to get into because
your face tells it all. Like
because
your
like
eyes.
it's one of those things where I'm always like, yeah, I can do it, but when you're in that moment, it's like so different because everyone's like, it's you, and not that there's so many people looking at me because it was just you and Javi literally there, so like I'm comfortable, but like to make it seem like I have to do it right now. I have no experience in painting at all.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't tell in there, but like I had to make it seem like I did. So they kind of showed me like a few like techniques on what to do, what paint like to get, what goes together, and I was like, okay, fuck.
You were
an
abstract painter. You were kind of doing something in the moment. People don't know where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. You're not a portrait painter. You were a kind of just like letting the colors come apart and just do its thing.
Yeah, so I remember just doing that the first time and I was like, wow. And obviously when you see movies and stuff like in really like intense parts and very the like climaxes of movies, there's not like there's not like audio playing for you. It's not it's different. So when you guys are going around me, it's just silent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All you can hear is like you guys kind of going around footsteps and then the canvas and the little tool that I used.
I remember just hearing
That's
the
all
button,
you hear.
and Javi's like, he was like breathing. He's trying to like get a steady hand basically to get this cinematic shot. And that was a very epic moment just when I saw the whole like the way it all glued together. The ending was just so epic, and just the way it ended.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, and recording the music, that was a big thing. That was the biggest contribute I remember. With
didn't
art
you
too.
do it as well? Didn't you do some stuff for? Yeah.
The drumming. Yeah, I remember. I helped him with like a sequence, another sequence. It was sort of like a Birdman type thing. We were trying to go for that. Just drumming was like the sounds of the score or whatever, but.
Once we finished that, we were like, okay, like there's obviously like film contests and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially here in EP, there's this one specifically. It's called the two-day challenge. Mm-hmm. So pretty much 48 hours to make a short film. They give you a genre to base it off of, and then I think sometimes you have to add like 3 things in there. There's like some like 3 things they give you, and you have to like kind of fit those in with. That's part of the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we were like, yo, like, I think we'd be pretty good at this, 48 hours. I mean, that's, not the most time, but it's not like, the worst thing. So.
And I think this was a big eye opener for all 3 of us, is that we do so well when we just have the idea. But I think it was in that moment when we did the challenge, we did not do good. In the heat of the moment of the pressure, we didn't do good under pressure. Having deadlines, and then
I think that's what it was.
It just like there's just some trial and error, but like, man, I don't know what happened. We just we jumped, we fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, we didn't even enter anything the first time.
The first one, yeah.
Did we film stuff? Yes, but none of it was actually good. I would say when we got our genres and stuff, and obviously, so when they pull our names and stuff, we're in a room with other people. It's all these other like filmmakers locally and stuff who are like, okay, they're doing it too, right? But like, I think one of the things that was, like you said, an eye-opener was that all these people we were seeing, at least most of them, not all of them, but they had like crews with them.
Yeah,
they all had like they were 20, in packs.
30 people.
Maybe not. No,
20 people.
I mean, maybe not the place, but just in general, yes. But like when they pulled up, like it was like people in like groups of like 5, 10.
Even
like
more. I remember once I've seen people in like 15 or 20 people. I was like, what? That's one group? Nah,
so
get out of here.
So I think that was the other thing. Like it was just us 3. We're not like this crazy group. We're not like.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
You
don't feel a presence when we walk in and stuff. We're still amateurs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I think that's what kind of really like started it off. Like, oh shit, like you see these people and they all look the same. Like me, Javi, and Adrian are not the same at all. Like we walk somewhere, you wouldn't think we know each other because just the way we're dressed, our interests, stuff like that. All these people, they look the same. They look like filmmakers went, like if you go to LA, right? And like you see, that's the vibe they were all giving off, which that's what they like to do. But to me, I was like, the fuck? Like, who are these dudes? Like, the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we felt like we didn't fit in at one point
at all.
It was like,
at all.
This is territory once again that's new, and I felt like we weren't worthy to step in this.
That's what it felt like. Like we weren't worthy. We were, out of our element. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
even Javi, dude, he started to get a little red, and as more people are walking in and stuff, and he knows, I would say, more people like that are in those groups and stuff.
Yeah.
So like he's like, it's like you're looking at competition. You're looking at friends, but then competition. You can't help it. It's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you see people and you're like, oh, like
it's true. I know that feeling. Yeah, especially like in music.
Right.
Being in the drum off and all that. I've done that. And I would see people, I would scan the room
to see who else, like,
and I'm looking at some guy and he's like wearing like overalls and a John Deere cap. I'm like, really, dude? You're a drummer? Like, overalls and a John Deere cap.
Cutting grass, dude. Like,
yeah, you feel those like insecurities right away, and I think, especially in the art form of whether it's filmmaking, painting, acting, like
music,
there's so much. Yeah, music, everything. You get so much. You're overcritical. You critique yourself so much. You're the worst. You're your own worst critic.
Yeah.
You hear all those little voices in your head, like how you said, turning the car into oncoming traffic is counterproductive. Like, it's that kind of, you get so insecure, and you I think that's why, like, sometimes we shut down, and I think that's how, like, Javi would, sometimes he would get like that too. He would put his head down.
Yeah, we were just not used to that, and I think it hit us like a brick for sure. Like, each and every one of us, like, it just like threw us off. And like you said, we got more critical in what we were doing. We overthought it way too much. I remember right after we were like, okay, cool, got in the Jeep, we were like, all right, let's go, like, brainstorm, let's figure this out. And that took us so long because me and you,
I came from more of a comedic background.
We come from like more comedy stuff. Like we were saying in the last episode, a lot of the things we did was comedy skits. So and that's what we were good at.
That's what we were
good at, Yeah, we did Unfinished Canvas and then the action scene already, but like our like home where we feel the most comfortable is doing like stuff around comedy. So we wanted to kind of do like something not straight comedy, but just add an element of laughter.
Comedy.
Add that because that's our strength. So we're like, let's go to that. And then Javi, that's not his strength. His
is more like drama. His is more the serious, suspenseful. He's great at that. Telling more of the serious stories. But no, I know. I think that's why in some of those 2-day challenges, like we did a couple of them. Like we
did two. First one, didn't go so well. Like we said, we didn't even enter it. We overthought everything. We didn't do anything well.
First time is.
But we learned a lot.
And it was not till this like the second or third time I didn't get to go to the
second one. We definitely did way better. I feel like we were like, okay, we know what to expect now. We were in the room with a lot of other people.
Right.
And we were like, okay, bottom line is we have to submit something. And it was like, okay, no Mickey Mouse, none of that. We have to submit something, whether it's good in our eyes or not. Like, let's make something and see what happens. Which is what we did.
I like making films and stuff like that, and it's really, to see like another outside perspective, like when you make making the film, you're seeing not just your side, you're trying to think in the audience's perspective.
What's funny though is when we did the second one, like you said, you weren't there when they showed it at the plaza. So they had two groups. They had the first group being like, I guess like the ones who had just entered something that didn't place or anything. And they showed all those first.
Oh, okay.
And me, Javi were there. Desiree went with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Desiree went with us to see that. And again, all those, like the runner-up, I guess, the ones that just submitted, not too good. But out of all of those, ours, you could at least hear it for one, because some you couldn't hear at all, which is where I was like, oh shit, like that sucks. But everyone has their different visions and stuff, and I respect it. But like, I don't know, when I want to watch something, like I want to like feel something. I want to be like kind of wowed.
Want to be moved.
The place that it got, I was like, nah, like you're dumb. Like that's like I credit people who make stuff because it's not easy. It's hard as shit.
Because
like to even do that.
Art's subjective. That's why.
And I was watching. I was like, like for real.
Like no, don't get me wrong. I'm like on your kind of realm, like where you watch something and you're like you want to be moved by it. And I think it's only because we're movie buffs. Like we love old certain like aesthetic looks to certain movies or like the certain films that impacted us, made us feel a certain way. So I think in our minds, we're seeing it in a certain way, and maybe they're seeing it in a different way.
Everyone's going to see everything in a different way. And I'm just like, okay, like now I understand it. At the time, I was like,
at the time,
like that's okay. But regardless, it was fun to actually enter it, see it on the screen at the plaza. Be with other people who did the same thing, and like just enjoy it. Like I think that part was really cool to do.
And then one of the well, not recent, but like a couple of years ago, it was like right after COVID, we entered most, like all our films, all three, into another short film festival, and we got to promote, or we got to, well, Javi entered into like an actual film festival, and then we got to be on a panel, and Javi was there.
We were up in the front. Guy had the mic.
That was really fun.
He did a Q&A with like the people the different groups and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was actually really fun to be in front of people and answer questions about it.
That was
just kind of fun to see like the vision that you had, and then just like what it was to make it, you know.
Yes, yeah.
And like I remember his family went, which was cool, you know, support him.
Yeah.
You know,
all these other film directors, everybody was all like film people in El Paso. They were all there. Everybody asking real like film questions and stuff.
Everyone
like that.
had like their table to showcase like some props from their stuff, and like you could see, and like it had every like piece had like a story to it. So that was nice to see for sure.
Felt like a little like that moment. It felt like a little celebrity, you know. But everybody has their own mic, and you're just like, I'm on a panel, like for like Comic-Con, or like what is this? You know. That's pretty nice, but just an experience once again, and I loved, you know, doing those films with you guys, and like I always say, you guys were the inspiration and influence on me in so many ways. Yeah, and you know, I think just trying to keep going in some way. Once again, like if you didn't introduce me to Javi, I wouldn't be interested. I would have no interest in film talking, and the way I am obsessed now about making little stories here and now. Like I try to make little short films. Maybe they're not as, you know, certain looks like as I wish they could be, but it's just now in me. Like I have these little stories I want to tell, and you know, so like it's
it's cool to get that out.
It's kind of the reason why I started my YouTube channel, because you were the one who kind of like pushed me to like, you should make a YouTube channel, and then that's kind of what I started trying to do again, and just trying to post things. I mean, it's for anybody's interpretation, but
I think that was pretty much wraps up like the film run as of now.
You
know, obviously, like we've all since then have done like separate things, like you posting on your YouTube channel. Me posting on TikTok, and you know, kind of doing more short form stuff that like,
which is
I'm
just as hard too, though. It's just as hard, because it's hard to create content that's consistent too, you know. My stuff is like all over the place, but once again though, it's like, it's because of the trend, and then we're also trying to be ourselves, and I think that's the thing. We're trying to be true to ourselves, because we don't lie to ourselves. We know what we're supposed to be doing.
That's true.
No matter how big or small the audience, you know, sees you do it because you love doing it. Like you should be proud of what you do. And that's why I think whatever I do, it's like, people say it's like, no, don't think like, oh, you shouldn't do it for yourself. I'm doing it for both myself and the audience. Like at least things that I think that would be acceptable or people would like. You know?
A lot of this stuff I created was a lot of things that I wanted to show, like because I love, aside from movies and sports and stuff, gaming has always been something that like has just made sense to me. So being a gamer and, you know, streaming on Twitch and stuff was always big to me. And like making a setup, I always wanted one. Now that I have one, like showing an audience like the tech that I have, the things that I have. So it's just a different way to express ourselves, kind of in our own way, what we like. Obviously, you and Javi aren't the same. We all have different interests. So just kind of showcase those different things. I think that pretty much wraps up the filmmaking, filmmaking business, you know? I would love to make something else in the future, for sure. Us three again, that would be... That'd be awesome. Us three, focusing on a project would be cool. It'd be cool to do the 2-day challenge again. I feel like now we'd be like, we'd submit something really good. Do they still have it?
They do, every year. Oh, okay. I'm going to try and enter one this year,
Okay, good.
I'm going to try, man. I'm scared. Like, I get nervous, but once again, I've heard other filmmakers. I have a friend.
Don't do it.
His name's Anthony. A shout out to Anthony. But he told me, he's like, if you have something to say, dude, he said, just do it. He said it's better doing something than not doing nothing. So I 100% I believe in that, and that quote stuck with me, and I was like, he's right. So that really,
that's gonna be exciting.
Hopefully,
can't wait to see. All right. Well, that wraps up episode 4.
Yeah.
That wraps up episode 5. I'm just doing 2 takes just so we can edit it.